Today's horoscope, Taurus October 6, 2024. Discover your future with my daily horoscope for you about love, work, health, money and compatibility with other signs. You're enthusiastic about your interests and projects today, and more interactive than usual. It's a good time to bond with others. Still, as the day advances, a Mercury-Mars square comes into play, and tension can build. Pay attention to insights into health or recent work projects and your urges to do something meaningful. However, it's best not to speak too quickly later today. This can be a time when you're anxious to express yourself, but there can be hasty conclusions drawn. Someone could rub you the wrong way by communicating too brusquely or insensitively. Watch for impulsiveness since thinking isn't clear now. Changes in your daily schedule can frustrate you but are likely necessary in the long run. Try not to make decisions under pressure, especially about something you haven't considered carefully. Save things for a better time when you have more facts and more patience. We have now entered one of the most critical turning points of the entire year. This is because mighty Mars has officially begun to slow down in the sky. He is spending many long months primarily orbiting in the degrees of your solar house of short-distance travel. As he enters his pre-shadow, be aware that confusion, challenges, and communication breakdowns could happen. If you're planning any trip, especially with your one and only, be sure to keep your schedule light and understand that there could be hiccups that hit you both. Why are your co-workers so annoying? Usually, it takes a lot to ruffle your feathers. But lately, you may have felt increasingly frustrated with your co-workers or clients. Take note of how your interactions at work impact your anger levels once the pre-shadow period for Mars retrograde begins today. The building energy from the upcoming Mars retrograde will feel emotionally intense. More passive-aggressive communication in situations may occur, so be careful. Take a deep breath when you begin to feel aggravated. Do not let your coworkers or clients rile you up throughout your workday. You will most likely have a rush of memories or flashbacks surface today. Happy memories can be signals or suggestions from your soul to repeat something in your life. If you flash on yourself in excellent shape years ago, it is clearly a sign to work toward that physical state starting today. If you suddenly remember the time you realized that most vegetables aren't actually gross, it just turns out that you'd never had them prepared correctly, it's a perfect evening to dig up a recipe for those little nutrition bombs and serve them for dinner. Today's vibrations will make you emotive. You'll probably have to be on your tiptoes. Professionally, you will need to discuss, question, and tighten your close relationships because if you don't, tensions will arise. This isn't the day to be in the spotlight but rather to stay in the background and try to find harmony. Sentimentally, you will go through some highs and lows, but your relationships will be freer with no effort on your part. Though Pluto may be restrained, as the moon departs and concludes the eclipsing new moon in your work sector, his transition into the final 7 days of retrograde motion in your sector of adventure, travel, learning, and discovery is calling. Once Pluto moves direct next week, he will no longer experience retrograde motion in this adventurous part of your chart within our lifetime. Meanwhile, professional matters and other life aspects continue to develop. Before time runs out, Pluto encourages you to seize opportunities that revisit past experiences or offer second chances. The moon has not only returned for its only visit to your relationship sector while Venus, the planet of love, is here, but just as she is moving into the most important days of her short 25-day visit. This is a chance to ensure you are emotionally engaged as Venus' friendly aspect to Saturn peaks and she is heading into another with Saturn in your communication sector in just a few days. Daily Planetary Overview. Let's take a moment to talk about those magical moments a year, the ones where everything suddenly seems to fall into place, as if the answer had been sitting there all along, just waiting for you to notice it. Have you ever been caught in the cycle of overthinking, weighing every possible angle, only for the solution to hit you out of the blue when you least expect it? That's the energy today has in store for you. You may find that the clarity you've been chasing arrives when you stop searching so hard for it. Often, the best ideas and insights come to us when we allow ourselves a moment to just be. It's like when you're trying to recall something, And the moment you stop trying, the answer pops right into your mind. Think back to a time when everything clicked for you, a moment when, after a lot of deliberation, the path forward suddenly became crystal clear. How did that feel? Was it a sense of relief, excitement, or even surprise? Share your story. It's likely that someone else is feeling stuck right now, and your experience could be the encouragement they need. Speaking of challenges, today may bring some twists and turns that require you to be flexible. But think of these obstacles not as roadblocks but as part of the process, tasks to be completed with patience and determination. Have you ever set out on a path with one plan in mind, only to discover that you had to adjust your course along the way? Maybe that change ended up being the best thing that could have happened. Remember, success doesn't always come in a straight line. Life's journey often has detours, and that's perfectly okay. Those detours can be rich with lessons and unexpected blessings. If you've ever had a setback that later turned out to be a hidden blessing, share it with us. Your story could inspire someone who's facing a similar hurdle today. Sometimes, in our eagerness to get things done, we lose the joy in the process. Think about the last time you were so focused on checking items off your to-do list that you forgot to enjoy the journey. Today is a reminder to pace yourself and embrace the small moments along the way. Life isn't just about reaching the destination, it's about finding meaning and satisfaction in the steps that lead you there. So, take a breath, give yourself permission to slow down, and enjoy the ride. Have you ever had one of those days where, on the surface, everything seems fine, but underneath, something just feels off? It's like your emotions are out of sync with the world around you. You're not alone. We all experience those moments, and today's planetary alignments might be stirring up exactly that kind of energy. It can be confusing when your emotions don't quite match your circumstances, but remember, it's okay to feel this way. You don't need to analyze every emotion or fix everything right away. Sometimes the best thing you can do is acknowledge what you're feeling without judgment. Let those feelings be, without trying to change them. Have you ever noticed how quickly a bad mood can pass when you stop fighting it and simply allow yourself to feel? Tension, frustration, or confusion can be fleeting if you don't resist them. Be kind and gentle with yourself today. These emotional ups and downs won't last forever, and on the other side of them, there's brighter energy waiting to fill your spirit. If you've experienced this kind of emotional ebb and flow before, how did you move through it? What tools or practices helped you come back into balance? Share with USA Euro. We'd love to hear your experiences. Whether it's taking time to meditate, talking with a friend, or simply giving yourself a quiet moment to reset, your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Remember, we're all navigating this journey together. Embrace each moment, trust that clarity will come when it's meant to, and know that you're exactly where you need to be right now. You've got this.